All right, so we just finished underglazing our bowl, inside, outside, all around. We got kind of the design we want. Now we're going to seal it with clear glaze. We got the clear glaze from the little storeroom. It is a dip glaze, right? One of the big buckets. And so we got to treat it just like we would a normal colored dip glaze, which means we open it up, we grab some of our stirring tools, our whisk, first, and we're going to whisk it up, mix it up. If it hasn't been used in a while, it might be a little bit stiff, okay? But know that it'll liquefy the more that you actually stir it. We come back in with our rubber scraper. Remember, hitting that point to kind of the edge of the buckets to really try to get all of that sediment that might be down at the bottom or stuck to the sides mixed in. Looks pretty good. I don't really have any sediment on that rubber scraper, so I'm going to use these glaze tongs and dip glaze this in clear glaze to seal it. Okay. Here. Again, like the other dip videos, if you're nervous about dipping your project, and maybe it's a different shape, size, depends on how much clear glaze, don't be afraid to ask your teacher the best and proper way to actually put clear glaze on your project. Okay? There's never shame in asking to make sure that you know and get the best turnout for your project. Okay? So I'm going to go down just like dip glazing, because clear glaze is a dip glaze. And we're going to go down. I'm going to go kind of in a circular motion for a long count of 3, and then I'm going to bring it back up, holding it as I kind of rotate. So it looks something like this. 1, 2, 3. We're up. Just like we have these extra, the clear glaze dripping off, I'm going to go ahead and rotate this to really let that glaze on the side not pool in one area and go back to covering. I'm going to go ahead and just like a dip glaze, because clear glaze is a dip glaze, I'm going to grab my little sponge with water. I'm going to wipe off all that extra clear glaze on the bottom from when we waxed. Okay. And one thing about clear glaze is, yes, it looks kind of this tannish color when it's wet. A really good application of a clear glaze is when this dries, it almost frosts over and looks really white and light and covers all of the color of your underglaze. Okay? Now, no, it's not going to affect the underglaze. It's simply kind of an outer coat that seals that underglaze in there. So I don't want you to worry about the underglaze underneath the clear glaze. From here, I'm going to turn it upside down. Remember, when I take off these clamps, I do them very carefully as to not kind of scrape and scratch that clear glaze. And I have my underglazed bowl completely sealed with clear glaze. I'm going to take this, going to clean up my tools, and I'm completely done with this bowl.